Hello, lovely ladies. Welcome back to Behind TLC Sister Wives Show. So, after 32 years in a spiritually dead marriage, Meri Brown just did the unthinkable. Cameras rolling, heart racing, she walked into a room full of strangers for speed dating. What happens next will shock you, make you cry, and completely change how you see Meri Brown forever. This is the moment everything changed. The moment we've all been waiting for. Let's just take a minute and absorb the fact that this is what we are literally witnessing. Meri Brown, the first wife, the woman who has been married to Kody Brown since 1990, the sister wife who stayed through years of rejection, humiliation, and emotional abandonment, is going speed dating. This isn't just another episode of Sister Wives. This is a cultural moment. This is vindication. This is empowerment. This is what it looks like when a woman who has spent decades making herself smaller finally decides she deserves more. And the Sister Wives fandom? We are living for every single second of this. TLC cameras captured the entire thing, and what we're seeing is nothing short of revolutionary for this show. For years, we watched Meri beg for Kody's attention. We watched her cry. We watched her try to salvage a marriage that Kody himself admitted was over. We watched her hold on to hope that maybe, just maybe, things could go back to how they used to be. But this is Meri saying, I'm done waiting for a man who doesn't want me. I'm going to find out what else is out there. And honestly, it's the most relatable, most human, most powerful thing we've seen on Sister Wives in years. The backstory that makes this so significant. To understand why it's such a big deal for Meri to go speed dating, we really need to talk about what she's been through. Meri was Kody's first wife. She's the one who brought the other wives into the family. She recruited Janelle. She encouraged Kody to marry Christine. She was there from the very beginning, and in many ways, she built the foundation of this entire plural family. But somewhere along the way, everything fell apart. The breakdown seems to have accelerated after the catfishing scandal in 2015. An emotionally vulnerable Meri was involved online with a person who turned out to be a woman pretending to be a man. It was humiliating. It was public. And it gave Kody what many fans believe was the excuse he'd been looking for to completely disconnect from Meri. Since then, their relationship has been effectively over. They are not having a romantic relationship. They are not intimate. They barely seem to have a friendship. On camera, Kody himself has said multiple times that he is not interested in getting things back with Meri. He said he doesn't think of her as his wife anymore. And yet, for years, Meri stayed. She remained connected to the family. She showed up for family events. She stayed spiritually married as if the real relationship were not already dead. Why? Partly because of her religious beliefs about eternal marriage. Partly because of hope. And partly because after spending your whole adult life in one family structure, leaving is terrifying. But now, we're watching Meri take the first real steps towards something new. And it's both exhilarating and heartbreaking. What actually happens at the speed dating event? Now, let's break down what we actually see in this incredible footage, because every moment is loaded with meaning. Meri arrives at the speed dating event looking nervous, but determined. You can see it all over her face, the anxiety, the excitement, the uncertainty. This is a woman who hasn't dated anyone besides Kody Brown since she was essentially a teenager. She got married at 19 years old. She's now in her 50s. That's over 3 decades with one person. The format is traditional speed dating, a few minutes with each potential match, moving from person to person, trying to make a connection in an impossibly short amount of time. And watching Meri navigate this is fascinating. You can see her trying to figure out how to present herself. How do you summarize your life when your life has been sister wife in a polygamous family for 30+ years? How do you explain that you're technically still married but not really? How do you talk about what you're looking for when you're not even entirely sure yourself? The conversations we see are awkward at times, how could they not be? But they're also genuine. Meri is being real. She's talking about her life honestly. She's not hiding who she is or where she's been. And that's the beauty of it. She's not apologizing for any of it. She is not ashamed of it, she's just out there. Most of the men with whom she speaks seem genuine in their interest. There are moments of laughter. There are moments of connection. There are moments where you can literally see Meri light up in a way we haven't seen in years on Sister Wives. The emotional weight of watching this. I won't lie, watching Meri do speed dating hits different when you've been following her story for years. She's a woman who has been rejected publicly over and over again by her husband. We've watched Kody tell her on camera that he's not attracted to her anymore. We've watched him tell her he doesn't want to work things out with her. We've watched him essentially tell her that she's free to leave, but he's not going to be the one to end things because of his religious beliefs. It does something to a person, that level of rejection, that level of being unwanted. It chips away at one's self-esteem. It makes you question your worth. It makes you wonder if anyone will ever want you again. And here comes Meri, placing herself in a situation of vulnerability by choosing to put herself out there, choosing to see if someone else might be interested in her, choosing to believe she deserves love and connection and romance. The courage that takes there too? Immeasurable. There's a moment, in the middle of her speed dating, where Meri gets emotional and you can see her fighting back the tears. It's not because anything bad happened, it's because this whole experience is overwhelming, scary, hopeful, terrifying, exciting all at once. For someone who has been stuck in a dead relationship for so long, even the possibility of a new, real, and mutual one is huge. How the other sister wives react. But what makes it even more interesting is how this speed dating adventure fits into the broader sister wives narrative, especially given the fact that 3 of Kody's 4 wives have now left him. Christine was the first to leave, and she's been quite open with her dating and new love. She set the template for what moving on looks like, and she has thrived. She showed the other wives there is life after Kody, and it's a good life. Janelle has also separated from Kody, and though she has been a bit more tight-lipped about any romantic interests, it's clear she's done with the marriage. So, Meri going speed dating isn't happening in a vacuum. It's happening in the context of a family that's completely fallen apart, where the women are all moving forward with their lives. And here's the thing. There doesn't seem to be any drama about it. The sister wives, most especially Christine and Janelle, seem all very supportive. They've all been through that pain of being in relationships with Kody where they felt unseen and undervalued. They get it. There's something almost beautiful about these women who used to be in competition for one man's attention, now supporting each other as they each find their own paths to happiness. It's as if they realized the problem was never them, that the problem was a system, a man who couldn't show up equally for all of them. Meri's path to this moment. To really appreciate Meri going speed dating, we have to discuss the journey it took her to get here, because it's been long and it's been painful. Not for years and years after that catfishing scandal, Meri was in relationship limbo. These awkward, painful on-camera conversations between her and Kody would go on where she'd try to find out if there was any hope for them, and he'd give her vague, non-committal answers. He never quite said, "We're done," clearly enough to make Meri let go, yet he also never gave her any real reason to hope. It was cruel in its ambiguity. During this time, Meri threw herself into her business ventures. She became hugely successful with Lularo. She bought and renovated a bed and breakfast in Utah called Lizzie's Heritage Inn. It became her passion project and her safe haven. She built a life for herself that was increasingly separate from the Brown family. But emotionally, she was still stuck. She was still holding onto the idea that maybe Kody would change his mind. Maybe he'd remember why he fell in love with her in the first place. Maybe there could be a reconciliation. We watched season after season this hope slowly die. We watched Meri's face at family gatherings as Kody barely acknowledged her. We watched her sit by herself at events as Kody was physically affectionate with Robin. We watched her make excuses for why the relationship wasn't working. It was heart-wrenching to watch. But something shifted. Maybe it was watching Christine leave and find happiness. Maybe it was turning 50 and realizing that life is too short to waste on someone who doesn't appreciate you. Maybe it was finally accepting that Kody was never going to change. Whatever it was, Meri began to let go. And this speed dating event? This is what letting go looks like in action. The significance of doing this on camera. Let's talk about the fact that Meri chose to do this on camera, because that's a huge deal. Meri could have gone speed dating in private. She could have explored dating without TLC cameras documenting every moment of her actions. But she did not. She allowed the show to film it. Why would she do that? Some of her fans believe this is Meri taking ownership of her narrative. For years, she's been portrayed as the sad, rejected wife who won't let go. This is her chance to show she is letting go. She is moving forward. She is choosing herself. Others believe it has to do with accountability. By doing it publicly, Meri is making a statement that she's serious about moving on. She's not going to quietly wait in the wings for Kody anymore. She's actively pursuing other options, and everyone knows it. There's an element of inspiration, too. Meri knows that millions of people watch Sister Wives. Of those viewers, many are women who have been in similar situations. They've been stuck in dead relationships, afraid to leave, and uncertain about whether they'd ever find love again. By showing her journey of speed dating, Meri is basically telling them, if I can do this after 32 years, you can too. It's scary, but it's possible. You deserve to be wanted. You deserve to be chosen. That's powerful messaging, and it likely resonates with viewers on levels far beyond typical reality TV drama. Kody's reaction, or lack thereof. So, what does Kody think about all this? What is his reaction to his first wife going on speed dates on national television? Based on what we have seen on the show, Kody seems to have surprisingly little reaction, and that in itself speaks volumes. This is a man who's supposed to be her husband, at least spiritually. And yet, when his wife goes speed dating, he doesn't seem particularly bothered. He doesn't seem jealous. He doesn't seem worried about losing her. Because here is the thing, he already let her go years ago, he just never officially ended things. Kody's apathy regarding Meri dating is actually the final proof their relationship has been over for a very long time. If he cared for her as a wife, if he saw her as his, if he wanted to keep their marriage alive, he'd have a reaction to this. He'd be upset or jealous or in some way motivated to fight for the relationship. But there's nothing. Just acceptance. Maybe even relief. And that's probably the closure Meri needed. Not some big dramatic fight or a tearful goodbye, but just the confirmation that Kody really doesn't care if she finds someone else. Sometimes, the most painful endings are the quiet ones, where you realize the other person let go so long ago that they're not even bothered by you moving on. The fan reaction is overwhelmingly positive. And like any reality TV fandom, the Sister Wives fandom has opinions about everything. But the response to Meri's speed dating adventure has been almost universally positive and supportive. Social media exploded with comments like, "Go Meri, go. She deserves someone who actually wants her. This is the character development we've been waiting for. Watching Meri put herself out there is healing something in me. After watching her beg for Kody's attention for years, this is so satisfying." Meri choosing herself is the best thing that's happened on this show. Hashtags #Team Meri and #Meri deserves better trended. Encouraging messages appear on fan accounts. Even those who were not that invested in her story before seem to be rooting for Meri now. Why? Because we've all, at some point in our lives, been Meri. We have all stayed in situations longer than we should have, hoped someone would change when they clearly weren't going to, and we've all been afraid to start over. Watching Meri take this step is cathartic. This is a reminder that it is never too late to choose yourself. It is never too late to start again. It is never too late to believe you deserve better. The response hasn't just been from Sister Wives fans either. Relationship experts, therapists, and life coaches have been weighing in, praising Meri for her courage, talking about how important it is for people to move on from dead relationships. What this means for Meri's future. So, where does Meri go from here? What does life look like after speed dating? The exciting thing is that Meri finally seems open to possibilities. For so long, she was closed off, still clinging to what she had with Kody even though it was killing her spirit. Now she's exploring. She's meeting new people. She's allowing herself to imagine a different kind of future. Whether she finds a long-term relationship straight away doesn't even matter that much. But what is important is that she has taken this huge step of putting herself back out there. She has just proven to herself that she can do scary things. She has shown herself that there are men who are interested in her, who find her attractive, and who want to get to know her. That validation from herself and from potential partners is healing in ways beyond just finding a new relationship. Meri's also in a great position in her life right now, where she's financially independent. She has her own businesses. She has her bed and breakfast. She's got friendships outside the Brown family. She's got her adult daughter Leon, formerly Mariah. She doesn't need a relationship to survive. She is not desperate to find someone to complete her. She's a whole, complete person who is now simply open to sharing her life with someone if the right person comes along. And that's the healthiest possible place to enter the dating world from. And honestly, after all she's been through, Meri deserves to find someone who lights up when they see her. Someone who is excited to spend time with her. Someone who makes her feel chosen. The wider ramifications for the show. Meri's speed dating represents something far more significant than a single woman moving on from a terrible marriage. It represents the complete shift of what Sister Wives is about. This show started as a relatively positive portrayal of plural marriage. The Browns were presented as a functioning, happy family that had chosen this alternative lifestyle. The wives seemed to get along. Kody seemed to be managing his multiple relationships. The kids seemed well-adjusted. But over the years, we have watched that facade crumble. We have seen all the jealousy, all the favoritism, the inequality, the resentments. We've watched the wives realize this lifestyle wasn't making them happy, it was making them miserable. And now we're watching them all leave. Christine went first, then Janelle, Meri is openly dating, only Robin remains, and even that relationship seems strained. Well, the show has become a cautionary tale about what happens when one person can't show up equally for multiple partners. It's a story about women finding their power and choosing themselves over a man who took them for granted. Going speed dating represents that shift for Meri. It's not even about plural marriage anymore. It's just women reclaiming their lives and their right to be fully loved. It is strange in some ways that this evolution has made the show more compelling than ever. We are not watching a gimmick anymore. We are watching real human struggles, real growth, and real triumph. Comparing Meri's journey to Christine's. It's impossible to discuss Meri dating without comparing her journey to Christine's, because Christine really blazed the trail here. Christine left Kody and almost immediately seemed to bloom. She moved back to Utah, close to her family and her roots. She lost weight, though that's not, of course, the important part. She started dressing differently, brighter colors, more confident style. She was glowing in a way we hadn't seen in years. And then she started dating David Woolley, and the contrast between her relationship with him and her relationship with Kody was stark. David clearly adores her. He's affectionate with her. He talks about her like she's the most amazing woman in the world. He's introduced her to his family. He's made her feel cherished. It has been one of the most satisfying reality TV arcs of all time, watching Christine get that kind of love after decades of being emotionally starved in her marriage with Kody. This is all happening in front of Meri. She's watching Christine prove that life without Kody is not only possible but better. She sees that there are men out there who know how to treat a woman right. That's probably been incredibly influential in Meri's decision to start dating. Christine proved it could be done. She showed what was possible. She gave Meri, and Janelle for that matter, a roadmap for moving forward. And now Meri's following that path in her own way, at her own pace. The difference is that this journey may be slower and more tentative for Meri. She has spent even more years with Kody than Christine did. She's been through additional trauma with the catfishing situation. She may need more time to build trust with someone new. But the important thing is that she's trying. She's taking steps. She's opening herself up to possibility. The uncomfortable truth about Kody. Watching Meri go speed dating really forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about Kody Brown and his complete failure as a husband. Kody had 4 wives. For women who devoted their lives to him, had his children, and built a family with him. And he was able to alienate 3 of them so thoroughly they all left. That's not coincidence, and that's not bad luck. That's a pattern which points to fundamental failures on Kody's part. He was not capable of making any wife feel valued. He was incapable of fairly sharing his time and attention amongst them. He could not show up emotionally for any of the ladies needing him. He couldn't put aside his own preferences and favoritism in the interest of the family. Meri's speed dating is a direct result of Kody's failures. If he had been a better husband to her, if he'd worked on their relationship after the catfishing, if he'd showed her love and affection, if he'd made her feel wanted, she wouldn't be looking elsewhere. He didn't do any of those things. He checked out of the marriage and then blamed Meri for not accepting it was over. The most damning thing? Kody does not appear particularly bothered by any of this. 3 wives have left him, and his response is essentially, well, they made their choice. There is no self-reflection, no acknowledgement of his role in these failures, no genuine attempt to repair any of these relationships. And that's why Meri and all the other wives are right to move on. You can't fix a relationship with someone who won't acknowledge there's a problem. Final thoughts. Meri's new beginning. Meri Brown going speed dating isn't just a moment of reality TV drama, it's a declaration of independence. It's a way of stating she's done waiting on somebody who will never choose her. It's making a commitment to herself that she deserves better than getting scraps of attention from some man who doesn't want her. After 32 years of marriage, most of that time in a relationship that had long since died, Meri is finally choosing herself. She's finally believing that she deserves to be someone's first choice, not obligation. Is it scary? Absolutely. Is it awkward? Sometimes. Is it uncomfortable to put yourself out there after decades with one person? Of course. But it's also brave. It's hopeful. It's inspiring. Meri is showing millions of people that it's never too late to start again. Never too late to believe that you deserve love. Never too late to walk away from something that isn't serving you and towards something that might. Whether she finds lasting love from this speed dating event or not, she's already won. She has learned that she can do hard things, she can take risks, and she can imagine a future that isn't all about waiting on Kody. And honestly, after everything we've watched her endure, seeing Meri laugh and connect with new people and allow herself to hope for something better that's not just good television. That's a beautiful human story about resilience, growth, and the courage to begin again. Go Meri, you deserve everything good coming your way. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay blessed, stay curious till next video.